So lads, today's been a bit of an interesting day. Well, not necessarily today and yesterday. It's the last 24 hours. It's been a little bit interesting in terms of just basketball. Man, some teams are getting good. Some teams are getting good. So first of all, the Lakers signed Kendrick Nunn as well. Obviously Wayne Ellington and Malik Monk. Are they the favorites in the West? Yeah, I would say so. Because the Clippers aren't really Clippers right now. The Suns, I mean, the Suns got McGee, which is huge. McGee's quite big for quite a big pickup for the Suns. The Nuggets obviously getting Jeff Green is huge as well. So there's a lot of good teams right now in the Western Conference, but the Lakers are the favorites right now. I don't know why. I just have a weird feeling the Mavs are going to win it. I have a weird feeling the Mavs are going to win. Is it because I'm super high on Luka Doncic? Of course. But at the end of the day, you just never know. You just never know. But the Miami Heat, man, they've assembled a good team. They've assembled a good team. Like, this is a potential starting five for the Miami Heat. Except it's not. Duncan Robinson's going to start. They got these guys right here. They got Duncan Robinson. They also managed to get Markieff Morris, who's a really, really solid player. And not only that, lads, I just want to say this right now. This guy can still play. I get it. He was probably overhyped coming out of the bubble. Let's not forget, like, he's 21 years old. Bad season. Players have bad seasons. So many players have bad sophomore seasons. This guy can still play. Like, they could potentially have a starting five of these guys. Let's just say Oladipo off the bench. He's probably the least likely of these to start. Duncan Robinson's probably going to start. So imagine having a bench of Oladipo, Tyler Hero, and like some Markieff Morris. And they still got some decent enough players around. And obviously, Heat culture is a thing. They're going to play harder. They are going to be insane. And as a Miami Heat fan, I'm no diehard Heat fan. I prefer to see the Heat winning than anyone else. But at the end of the day, it's not the biggest deal in the world to me. It's not like if Leeds lose. But man, this Miami Heat team, they could be good. It could be so good. And now from some huge positive news to some just funny news. Take a look at this. The Sacramento Kings, as expected, why do the Kings always do this? Why do the Kings always do this? They did it with Buggy. When they had Buggy, all they did was draft and sign centers. Like, when they had Buggy, all they did was draft centers. Like, they drafted likes of Papagiannis. They drafted, they drafted Willie Cauley-Stein. They basically just got a bunch of guys that look to be Buggy replacements on the team. They're doing the same damn thing now with De'Aaron Fox. Like, they drafted in 2 consecutive drafts, they drafted point guards. Although Halliburton's been great. He can play in a 2-guard front. But, like, Terrence Davis is also a primary ball-handling guard. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Like, what are Sacramento doing? What is Vlade Divac doing? I don't get it. I really don't get it. Is Vlade Divac even still there? Because I don't know. Maybe because he was a center, he wanted to draft a bunch of centers. I need to even check to see if Vlade Divac is still there. Because if he's not, then I cannot believe that they're actually going and doing this without him. Okay. Okay, it does not appear. It does not appear that he was still, he is still working for the Sacramento Kings. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, he's gone. So maybe it's not Divac's fault. Maybe it's not Vlade Divac's fault. I don't even know who's working for the Kings because let's be real, they're the freaking Kings. They don't make, like, has there been a less relevant team over the last 20 years in the NBA? Has there been a less relevant team, the Sacramento Kings? They've just been consistently bad. I've never seen a team be so consistently bad. Like, they hit on Buggy. They hit on De'Aaron Fox. But you gotta hit at least maybe 2 years in a row, 2 of 3 years, heck, even 2 of 4 years you gotta hit on the draft. And you know what they did? They had Isaiah Thomas. They let him go for nothing. The Sacramento Kings are the worst NBA franchise. I'm saying that right now. They're the worst. Forget about the Knicks. Sacramento Kings are the worst. But man, the Knicks, I like the Knicks. I like what the Knicks are doing right now. Are the Knicks anything special? No, they're really not. But I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Everyone's talking about how, oh, the Knicks are going to hit their ceiling. The Knicks are never going to win a championship. Let's be real. The Knicks haven't won a championship in 50 years. The Knicks have not won a championship in 50 years. This is probably the best New York Knicks team since the Melo 2013 year, where they only reached the second round. If the Knicks win a playoff series, this is huge. If the Knicks win a playoff series, they have won, what's it, one playoff series since Patrick Ewing? Like, come on. Come on, lads. They still have Thibodeau. They signed Evan Fournier, who's a more than solid NBA player. Yeah, he's not going to ball out like he is in the Olympics, but he's still a more than solid NBA player. Kemba Walker, if he stays healthy, is an all-star level player. Is he an all-star on any given year? Maybe, maybe not. He's still an all-star level player if he's healthy. They have Derrick Rose coming off the bench, or maybe Kemba will come off the bench. Doesn't matter. They have a really solid point guard rotation. They have RJ Barrett, who's just going to keep getting better. They have Mitchell Robinson, a center, and they still have Julius Randle. Is Julius Randle the best player on a team that's going to win a championship? No. But at the end of the day, if the New York Knicks make the second round, it's a positive. I don't get the whole winning championship or bust if you're the Knicks. Yeah, if you're the Lakers spending so much money on players and all your team are old, and if the Lakers don't win a championship this year, they're not going to win one. They're not going to win another one with LeBron if they don't win it this year. Let's be real. I understand it if you're the Golden State Warriors trying to go for a championship, because at the end of the day, you've got Steph, you got Clay, you got Draymond coming towards the end of their careers. If you're a team like Brooklyn who traded their whole future away for a big three. Like, I get that if you're one of those teams going for a title. But like, I don't get it with Knicks fans. Seeing so many Knicks fans annoyed that they signed Kemba. Being like, why are we getting Kemba when he's not going to turn us into a championship team? Newsflash, nobody's turning the Knicks into a championship team. Nobody is. Zion's not walking through the door after 4 years. I'm just saying that right now. You might get him in a trade after like 6 years, but Zion's not. They have the rights he's a restricted free agent. It doesn't even matter if Zion doesn't want to be there. The only thing that's going to happen, who knows, maybe Zion eats his way out of New Orleans. That's the only way I can see. That's the only way I can see New Orleans not keeping Zion for almost all of his first two contracts. That's the only way I can see it. But like, you're not getting Zion anytime soon. They've got a bunch of contracts that end in 2024. And they got a team who was a 4th seed in the Eastern Conference, was one of the best defensive teams in the NBA, had multiple win streaks, and are actually good and got better. The Knicks got better. So guys, if you're a Knicks fan, are you going to win a championship? No. Because you might win a playoff series. Which if you're a Knicks fan, it's a pretty good thing. Because anyway, as down bad as you think the Knicks are, at least you're not the Kings. That's all I'm going to say. At least you are not the Sacramento Kings. Oh, I'd hate to be a Kings fan. I'd hate to be a Kings fan right now. Like, I am strongly, again, as someone who grows up in Ireland where it's a case of you pick a team when you're 6 years old and you stick with that team. No matter what, you stick with that team. Hence, Leeds fan. Been a Leeds fan my whole life. You just stick with the team. A lot of the time, whoever your family supports, that's who you support. You could your favorite players could be on other teams. Most of my life was like that. But you still support your team. And I never really understood how a lot of people with NBA, that are fans of NBA teams, flip-flop between teams. After seeing the Sacramento Kings, I kind of understand it right now. I kind of understand it. But yeah, the Miami Heat, I think, are a dark horse team in this Eastern Conference. Are they the Nets? No. They're not. But are they as good as Milwaukee? That is the question. Like, the Nets, if one of the Nets' big three goes down, they may not win. But this Miami Heat team is deep. It is stacked. Is it as good as the Lakers team? Probably not. I don't think it is. I think is it a top 5 team in the league? I don't know. But it's in that group of teams that I would consider as could win a championship if they get lucky. And that group of teams, I get it, Milwaukee just won the NBA championship, but we saw it in the first 2 games in Brooklyn. I still have the Brooklyn Nets as winning the Eastern Conference. I think they're quite a bit better than Milwaukee Bucks, and especially with Milwaukee losing PJ Tucker. I think you've got Brooklyn Nets favorites. I think Lakers. We've no idea. I have no idea what to think about the Lakers because I think the pieces just kind of fit, kind of don't fit. We'll have to wait and see. I'll wait until maybe December to give any actual judgment on what I think about this Lakers team because how the hell are you meant to know when it's an entire new team surrounding just their 2 stars? And then there's the Nuggets, the Bucks, the Mavs, the Heat. I'm trying to think who else. The Suns are in that bracket as well, depending on how the Hawks progress. That are in that bracket of could make the finals or win a championship if everything goes right. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. As a Heat fan, I'll be happy to see the Heat win. And I think that this team, it fits. Like, obviously, this starting 5 maybe doesn't fit the greatest, but you had Duncan Robinson into that team. They've got defense, they got shooting, they got bigs. And I think this Heat team is going to be a tough team to beat. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. This is video number 1 of 2 of the day. Later on tonight, I will be in about 4 hours recording a video talking a little bit about a preview for the USA game versus Australia and the Slovenia-France game as well. But anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.